Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and Amy here. Hello, Ames. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Coming off the
Hangson's
weekend.
in there.
Yeah, I like the color of your shirt.
I do too.
Yeah,
It says pickle paws.
pickle paws. All I could see was
Yes.
pickle, and I'm like, "Where's she going? Is this a dick reference? What's going on here?"
No.
Pickle paws. All right,
Pickle Paws is a charity event, pickle ball
sure.
for a dog charity. So,
Mm.
fostering.
Did we raise a bunch of money?
Yeah, I think so. One of my clients put it on and we were a sponsor and we went into their office the other day. I don't know if I mentioned it on the air or not, but they had these two tiny little
Yeah,
dogs that were like this
little
big
guys.
in their
Just
office
little guys.
that they were fostering, waiting for adoption that they got from this event. And I was just like, oh my God, I need to put them in my purse and steal them.
What
It's
were they?
it's
Were they
crazy that
those
I
like
didn't come home with a dog.
really? When was this? Was this recent?
Yeah, it was recent.
Okay. Were they
So
gonna grow or are they just forever? Because
yeah, I mean they're
don't they have
puppies,
like
but
mini ones
yeah, they do.
that
I mean, I
stay?
would say it's probably like, I don't know. It'll be a tiny dog. It was like a multi poo of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah. Not usually a
But yeah.
fan of the little guys.
I'm really not either.
Yeah, they get more too yippy for
Yeah.
my liking, typically.
Yeah,
Um,
we had a chihuahua named Moose growing up,
you had a
and,
what? A
a
chihuahua?
chihuahua
Yeah,
named
thank you.
Moose,
Yeah.
and she was such a dickhole, but she was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
nice to us, but she
Yep.
hated everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be like that. Not usually a huge fan of them.
They live
Um,
longer.
do they? The little mini
Little
things or
dogs tend to live longer than big dogs.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big dogs, I don't know. I've always been that way. Like, don't get me wrong, a Roops is a Roops. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna love
yeah,
it and
for
all
sure.
that. And they're cute, but there's something fidgety about those little things and
Mhm.
yippy that I'm
Yeah,
just like, oh, shut up, dude. You're not
yeah,
tough. Just stop.
yeah,
And you get them around big dogs, and the big dog's just like, whatever. You're
yeah,
loud, you
yeah.
know.
It is
Um,
interesting. I always kinda had smaller dogs growing up, and now that I have bigger dogs, although Diesel, I don't think was meant to be as big as he is, but he's just fat, but, it's kinda
uh,
crazy, like, how much smarter they are than, like, the Chihuahua. Moose was I mean, she knew a few things, but she wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed,
yeah.
and, my dogs now, they're like I feel like they're smart.
Yeah, I Cece is.
Cece's for
See,
sure smart.
yeah. Those I don't know if that's a it's definitely a breed thing. There are certain dog
Yeah,
breeds that are like, you're an idiot. And then
yeah,
there's some that are definitely smarter, can learn way more. Cece definitely knows more words than other dogs I've had.
yeah,
So I feel
for
like
sure.
she's smarter, but but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I got some good news today. We took Diesel to the vet last week on Friday. And he's going to be 14. We've talked about it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well, we haven't talked about it. You won't let
yeah.
me.
But so I take
You
him
won't
to the
even let me joke about it.
No, hell no. You can't joke about it. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? But so we go to the vet for his checkup and they take blood work and stuff. And I was just kind of mentioning some, he's like panting a lot at night. It seems like
Yeah,
drinking a lot of
Cease is doing
water or
that.
whatever. And she was like, well, one thing I want to test him for is Cushing's disease. And I was like, oh, great. What's Cushing's disease? So of course I'm spending the entire weekend Googling Cushing's disease. And
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
given Diesel a new nickname of Cushy Dreams
What
Boy.
up,
And
Kush?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm reserved to the fact that he has Cushing's, of course.
Well, what is it?
And
Is it like AIDS for the dog or
no,
something?
it's
Like,
like
what is
it's a liver enzyme
yeah.
disease. And the average lifespan of a dog with Cushing's is like 2 years. But I mean, Diesel's 14. So
Yeah.
like honestly, if he lived till 16, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, it's
Like
awesome.
it's at this point in his life, I just kind of feel as devastated as I'd be, I just kind of feel like a prognosis of 2 years is pretty decent.
Yeah, for a
Um
14-year-old big guy?
yeah, and so the doctor calls
How
today and she's like,
He's doing great.
Everything is great. She's like, his blood work is surprisingly good for a 14-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
all his levels are normal and doesn't seem like he has Cushing's. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
good news. But so
That's great.
yeah.
That's great. Pickleball is taking the world by storm. I can't
Oh,
believe it.
it's huge.
I want to play. I played once, but it was with the dumbest people on earth. You know, I had 2 kids and like my sister. So it was just like, you can't do anything because it's all about the kids. Like that's all your
For
life revolves
sure.
around. It's like, if a
Totally.
kid's involved, holy shit.
Yeah, and you can't play
Can
for
we be
real.
even, can we even be in these things' presence?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
how dare us?
Yeah.
And so it's just like a constant, like coddling these fucking, you know, morons making their way through planet Earth. And so it was just like, you know, can we get these dipshits out of here?
Yeah.
You got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. They're worthless. They're just spazzes. They suck at everything. And so it's like, yeah, no, this is totally fun. I'm totally getting the feel for pickleball. I'll hit it once, and then 30 minutes later, when this retard gets back with the ball, we'll try it again. So I have no idea if I like pickleball, but I hear it's the shit.
It is.
I hear
fun.
Is it any sort of workout at all?
It is. It is. Yeah, you will for sure get a workout in.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing a legit game. Like my one of my clients has a pickleball court in his office. Like in a separate wing of their office, he has this like full-blown pickleball court. And so on occasion we will change up our meetings and we'll go play a game of pickleball. Instead of just like sitting around a conference room table. And so the first time I ever played a real game was in that situation. And I was like, oh my God, this is kind of a lot of pressure to perform in front of a client. And I was like gassed. I was pretty good at it though. Because
did you play ping pong or tennis or any of those? Were you a paddle game chick at all?
Not really. I mean, I took tennis lessons and I had a ping pong table on my 8-in-1 table that I had. But other than that,
8 games in one table. Is that
what
it is?
It was like ping pong, pool, basketball, air hockey, foosball.
I like it.
And there were some other games in there too. And so it was it was my Christmas gift one year, and it was the year that I learned about Santa.
Oh,
I just remember all of this so
15.
very
I remember it well. Yeah, it was a rough year for me too. Never forget.
But no, I wasn't super into paddle sports, but so I played it, but it's fun because and I think so many people like it because it doesn't move as quick as tennis. The ball is more like one of those wiffle ball things.
Yeah.
So it just moves a lot slower and gives you time to react, you know. But you're still moving quite a bit, but it's fun. It's big amongst the retirees.
Yeah, it's big amongst a lot of people. See, I come from a tennis family. My mom was, I don't know, semi-pro-ish at some point, was in clubs my whole life, and played. She's still good. She's 77 years old and still will whoop your ass on a tennis court. So as a kid, we played. My brother's like 6'3" and was, you know, he was a killer back in the day.
Are you the milkman's kid?
Yeah, right. No, I know. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. No, my brother's skinny as a rail, 6'3". Like, dude, my sister's tall for a chick. She's like 5'7". Like, it doesn't make it. And then there's me, you know, 5'9".
I don't know. I've
fucking
got some
little
questions.
dork. Yeah. But I look like my dad, sort of. Okay. There's enough features to where it's like, you know, whatever his laziest fucking sperms were dumped into me. Like, they're super hardworking and like professional, and then there's like me.
But you know, it could be like one of those things, like when you're around someone so often, you kind of start to look like them. You know, like old people start to look alike, kind of once they've been together long enough.
So maybe, but so anyways, when I go out to California, it's like, bring your racket, and it's like, I don't own a racket, and so I'd have a racket. My mom's got a few, and we'd play, and I don't want to play to like win points. What's that?
For pickleball or tennis?
No, for tennis.
Oh, for tennis. Okay.
So we would play tennis, and it was just like, I don't want to do that thing where you try and get a shot and win a point. Like, fuck off.
Like, let's volley back and forth.
Let's just volley back and forth. And I quit. If you don't do that, I quit.
Right.
Because I'm not interested in running. I'm not going to blow out 100%. A knee.
Yeah.
I'm looking to warm up, get loose, sweat a little bit, and have some fun. I don't want to be walking around a tennis court picking up balls because you got a fucking great shot. Shut up.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people. So my sister wants to play. So we would go to this place. There's a place in, Pleasanton, Northern California area. And I noticed all these people playing this weird tennis with these fucking paddles years ago. And I was like, what the fuck are they doing? And it's like, oh my God, it's pickleball. I'm like, that's the dumbest name ever.
I know.
But it's the same people. They're there all the time. They're there around the clock. And I went, I was like, I'm going to watch this a little bit. And there's a guy there and he's so into it. I mean, he's like, he knows everybody there, right? It's like a club. He knows everyone. He's got the bandana. He's got the wristbands. He's got knee braces. Mm-hmm. He's fucking directing traffic. And I'm like, I hate him so much. Might have been
my stepdad.
Yeah, I hated him so much that I was like, I don't think I could play pickleball because of that guy. Like, he's such an asshole. And just a typical Bay Area, he's probably got Kamala Harris signs on his lawn and shit. And I'm just like, I'm out.
Yep.
So I've kind of put it off, but my mom's gotten into it now, and she likes it more than tennis. So
yeah.
I'll be forced to play at some point.
Yes. Well, it's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah. Anyways, also wanted to mention, I almost did this to you people today, but I'm holding off till tomorrow. Isis is going to join us.
Isis
will be here tomorrow.
I'm going to do 2 podcasts with Isis. Or no, wait, I'm going to do this one tomorrow and then Isis's podcast on Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, interesting, because he told me he was unavailable Wednesday morning.
Before you even wake up, Mike, we'll have a podcast done.
Nice. I doubt that because I wake up at like 7. So, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is 10 your time. So I guess,
right.
Maybe you are. No, he's every time he can't do something, he can't be there this day, that day, always 100% of the time, it revolves around that fucking Nisa is. 100% of the time.
Like a transformed human being.
Yeah, it's crazy. He hated those things. He hated them. Yeah. Remember how mean he was?
Them.
On the show?
It's gotten to the point, Mike, and we can talk about it with him, but he has mentioned that he understands now why people have kids. I know. Isn't that crazy?
See, I understood why people had kids until I was around them more. And then I'm like, oh, no.
But, he's always had that position of like, why would you're so selfish if you have your own kids. There's so many kids out there to adopt.
Yeah.
And, if you want kids, you should just adopt kids. And now he's like, I kind of see why people want to have their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he gets
because he gets it now. When it's a kid that's your family, you just generally like them more.
Yeah. I don't think the adoption people are going to like that. I'd worry more like, I don't know.
No. I don't mean, I mean, they're, I mean, they're part of your family, but I just mean compared to like strangers' kids, you know what I mean? Like you just like people who are in your family more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, having adopted kids, they're yours-ish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
no,
yeah, totally get that. I still don't think I want him having kids, though.
No, I mean, I think he's past that point in his life. I could see him being a stepdad of maybe some adult children.
Yeah, kid coming from a broken home with Isis in the mix. Don't know that that's a great idea, but
Isis has grown into a mature-ish human.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. He'll be on tomorrow.
I'm impressed with Eric.
Yeah,
I mean, he watches his niece by himself.
I know.
And his sister lets him drive with her.
Wow.
I mean,
imagine that. He's probably talking the whole time. He's probably in his phone. Like, that's dangerous.
No, I bet he drove like 10 miles an hour with his hands at 10 and 2. Like, I bet he was the complete opposite, but was still a total asshole on the road.
Yeah.
He was driving so slow.
Well, I was going to have him join us today, and then I was like, you know what? Mondays coming out of the weekend is usually a bigger news day, and Isis is too good for covering stories.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He wants to talk about the woods or something. Get all frustrated when you're talking about real stuff. So he has to take a knee. I don't even know what you guys talk about on your show.
We talk about his ventures and,
Okay.
I don't know, we just bullshit for 45 minutes.
Yeah. Is it fun?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's I don't know, I think we do it once every couple weeks, so.
Yeah. Is he back up in Mackinac?
He will be up in Mackinac in a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to be his new gig, you think? You think that's just what Isis does now? He's like the old man park ranger guy?
100%.
He's worked his way up.
Like, I could see him, like, maybe taking some time off here and there to do something different, but I think generally if he were gonna be around, that would be his go-to. I mean, I think he loves it up there. He has nary a bad word to say about Mackinac Island.
No, he loves it.
I mean, he is like he just
Wouldn't that be hilarious if one day Isis is like running Mackinac Island?
Yes.
Like, seriously.
He's like the long-term mayor
or
something,
He could be. He doesn't have an enemy. Like, he's never going to have an enemy, and everyone's going to love him. He could totally be the mayor of the city of Mackinac.
That would be so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. From where he started, like, I used to shovel horse shit up here, and now look at me.
You'll have to ask him about it. Hopefully he doesn't mind me mentioning it, but he has a Patreon for his show, the eVenture podcast, and someone I think messaged him and said, do you post pictures of the horse's poop? And I think he was just like,
genius.
What?
Holy shit, we got a new page.
So I was like, I was like, how much would it take for someone to sign up? Like, if this guy really wanted, horse shit pics uploaded monthly,
I could send boxes of it. I could box it up and mail it to you.
I mean, what a concept.
Yeah, you probably could have
People are so
a thing. Could have a thing. Can't wait to hear Isis. Thank you, Lynn. Cult leader, I was just about to say that. Isis running the island. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I wouldn't.
I mean, he already has a key to Houghton in his back pocket that he can. Leverage.
Yeah. Why not? Well, I know what he wouldn't want to talk about, and that is the Trans Day of Visibility, which is today.
You don't say.
Yes, I don't know if you knew that, but today is the Trans Day of Visibility.
When you work and you don't leave your house, you don't have to interact with people, you just don't know that. So I did not realize that.
Yes, it's I pulled some stuff about it. TDOV. I mean, as most people know it.
I would have thought it would have fallen in June during that whole month's festivities.
Yeah, just the fuck fest month that is June.
Yeah, I mean, that whole month is dedicated to that, to the LGBTQ.
Yeah, rightly so.
Community. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people to celebrate. They need an entire month.
Absolutely.
That's why it seems a little weird that they're hijacking March 31st.
I would say we're getting to a point where I would like to celebrate a single day of trans invisibility.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if there was one day where
blackout, no news,
just a blackout? Yeah. That would be more newsworthy than the actual Trans Day of Visibility. I feel like every day is trans visibility. And believe me, I could do 9-hour shows 7 days a week about the trans community if I wanted. Mm-hmm. I handpick certain things, and when they go absolutely off the deep end, I bring it in, and it's always fun. But yeah, if you think it's not my algorithm, I don't see it. Trust me, there's plenty of activity out there for you to pay attention to. This honors, if you don't know TDOV, obviously, honors the trans, non-binary, and gender expansive folks while drawing attention to the absolute high levels of poverty, discrimination, and violence the community faces globally. Globally, yeah, I would say that's true globally. There's lots of people that don't subscribe to your lifestyle globally.
Is there a direct correlation between poverty and being trans?
Yeah, probably. Or it's becoming clearer as we go. They don't mention mental illness either, which is interesting, which is the case in a lot of them. But anyway, this year's TDOV follows President Trump's recent executive orders that restrict the rights of trans Americans. Hold on. What rights are being restricted exactly? You'll have to explain that to me.
Oh, let me guess that they can't be in the Army.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Okay.
They mention that. They say the military, not specifically the Army, but
the military.
Yeah.
When is flat foot visibility day? Because I know quite a few people who didn't get to go into the military because they had like flat feet.
Yeah.
And so someone took their rights away, and I don't like that.
Yeah, the rights are being trampled on. So impacting. So when we're talking about their rights just being stripped, you would think historically like right to vote, right to eat at certain restaurants, but no, it's the military one. Again, I don't know when the lack of perfect vision pilots day is, but
colorblind awareness day.
Colorblind awareness, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that's fucked up a lot of careers.
A lot of sufferers. A lot of people that just want to serve the military that can't for those very reasons. Yeah. Also participate in school sports. See that right that's been stripped of the trans community. You're allowed to participate in all the sports you want.
You are so allowed.
All of them.
Every single one. You are allowed.
It's just coincides with your biological birth. Birth. What you were born as. So
yeah.
But other than that, you can participate.
It goes off your sex. It goes off your sex. If you're a male, you're playing with the boys. If you're a female, you're playing with the girls.
The other right that's been stripped of them, and it is a right, obtaining government documentation, including passports that reflect their gender identity. See, if they would have just ended with their ability to obtain documents, government documentation, I'd be right there with them. I'm like, that's bullshit. This human being is a citizen, an American citizen, and can't obtain documentation. That's outrageous. Right. Oh, no. You just can't put an F, can't put an M on there.
Right.
Documentation. Right.
Just like we can't say that we're black on ours.
Right.
We can't just like make up this make-believe identity and then get a license.
Yeah.
We would get busted for doing that when we were trying to do fake IDs. So what makes you think that you can just have this like fake ID out there?
Yeah, fake IDs were usually illegal.
Yeah, the government's issuing fake IDs now. Like what?
Yeah. I love getting the ones in the mail that I'm seeing on social media where people are like showing their passports showed up there for this administration and the wrong box is checked.
Yeah,
and they're crying. They have to set up a camera, take one, and then be just devastated that this passport has the wrong box checked for them.
I mean, if you're really devastated, are you setting up a camera to film yourself crying?
No, never for anything. I've been devastated a lot in my life. Mm-hmm. Many times. The one thing I've never done in every instance of me being devastated was set up a camera.
Yeah.
Ever. It's just never happened. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird.
Yeah.
Rachel Crandall Crocker. Rachel, fine psychologist, executive director. They're always a director of a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. Transgender Michigan created the initiative, TDOV, the Trans Day of Visibility, back in 2010. I wasn't expecting to start an international movement. That was the point. Have you met Rachel, by the way?
It started in Michigan?
Yeah. in 2010. Have you ever seen Rachel?
I have not seen Rachel.
She's a looker. Rachel. Yeah, you want to check out Rachel?
Did Rachel used to be Rick?
I don't know. I can't. It's hard to tell sometimes. They're pretty good at this. Here's Rachel.
Transgender Day of Visibility in 2009. It's all
Mike.
What? Yeah. What?
Mike.
What's wrong?
Mike, that is a character from Beetlejuice, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
What?
Does she have a mask on?
No.
Why
That's
does
its
her
face
look like that?
I don't know, but you see the Tigers logo back there? The Tigers are supportive. Game changers.
Oh
that's the actual Tigers logo there. That's the Old English D. Should we hear the rest of Rachel? She's very proud of this initiative. I can't tell if this used to be Rick, but
it's all over the world
right
now. It's even
Yeah, I
in
can't.
places where it's illegal to be trans, however, it's still there.
I'm starting to think Rachel maybe was a Rick at one point.
Yeah, and has been dead for 40 years.
I'm pretty sure I see a dick flopping in that fucking sundress. It's a beautiful sundress.
Oh my gosh.
Let's hear her out. She's very proud of this.
Just thank all my friends and everyone for supporting me. Thank you, everyone.
Right on.
You have
Can't.
helped
What?
make me me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, so that's who you have to thank for Trans Day of Visibility.
My gosh. I mean,
Yeah.
that dude, that chick, whatever they are, looks like a waiting room character in Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I see that.
The face. I'm just like, it was an odd color.
Yeah.
It was like a palish green color face.
It wasn't something that grabbed you. And you know when you see beauty on its face and just out in the wild and you recognize it right away?
Yeah.
That's not what I saw there with Rachel, but
No.
Can you imagine that's your psychologist?
Oh, Mike, I forgot that you said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mike, imagine going to that person for therapy.
You sit lay down on the couch.
And
What's wrong with me, doc?
I'm not saying
Sorry.
that people with speech impediments can't be great psychologists. I'm not saying that, okay?
No.
But what I am saying is it seems to me like you would only get half of the things you want to accomplish done in a given hour with that person because it takes them a long time to say something.
Yeah. It's pretty transphobic, but yeah.
But also, I think, when people tried to say that Joe Biden had a stutter and that's why he was talking like an asshole, that's a stutter.
Yeah,
that's a speech impediment right
there. That's
there.
Tourette's, is I believe what Rachel claims to have. I mean
Tourette's?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think that's what I read.
Huh. Interesting.
But
does she say random words?
International Transgender Day of Visibility in 2009.
That would be way better.
It's all over the world right now.
Yeah, I'd be like, Doc, I got to go. I'm sorry. No offense. I'll pay this one in full.
Yeah.
But I'm going to need another psychologist. I feel like I'm getting worse.
Yes.
Honestly.
Seriously.
So here's what you need to know about Trans Visibility Day.
Tell me.
TDOV. Laverne Cox, and these are some of the snapshots in history. Laverne Cox became the first transgender person to be nominated for an Emmy.
Sure.
There's Elliot Page. Wasn't that Ellen Page?
Yeah, Ellen. Yeah, that Juno.
Yeah, and now she's just a wisp of a guy.
Yeah, she's
with
just
that
a little
tiny.
guy.
They get those tiny little beard things going.
Yes.
Where it's like I've shot enough testosterone that my body just freaks out and
grow,
starts sprouting.
Yeah, I can grow a few hairs on my chin.
Yeah.
She's always been able to grow them, but she used to trim them because she was a chick, and now she just lets them grow out, and she has this sort of stubbly beard.
Yeah. She became the first trans man to appear on the cover of Time magazine. Who could forget Leah Thomas? First trans women to win an NCAA swimming championship. I wonder how she did that. That was amazing.
She's just very talented. That's all.
Yeah, I think Leah
She's so talented that she just picked it up pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't in women's swimming all that long.
No, she was new to women's swimming, but her frame kind of at 6'4", kind of helped her. You got Rep Sarah McBride, first trans person elected to Congress. That's Tim, right? We've seen Tim.
I can't remember her biological name. Although her face looks a lot like her male face.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like that dude did.
Who, Rachel?
No, Rachel. Like that Congress chick dude plays dress up better than Rachel does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
Rachel's not pulling it off, but
for example,
it's kind of Rick Levine-ish. I see a little Rick Levine in Rachel.
Totally. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But what about that one chick? She's a conservative and she's trans and she's like, oh gosh, keep talking. I have to see if you've seen this chick before. I gotta pull up her name.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Accolades.
While you look it up, I'll remind people this day should remind people, okay, the day aims to support the community. Many have safety concerns, whether those are real or thoughts, whatever. Visibility should not be forced upon anyone. Someone needs to tell someone in that community that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like visibility is being forced on a lot of us.
Yeah.
Continue working towards a country full of people that understands trans people are our neighbors, our family members, our friends. We are all aware of that. We were fine with that too. They occasionally are all those things. Yeah. Trans people want to simply be able to go about their daily lives just like anyone else, except that they don't. Not the ones I'm seeing on TV. Not the ones I'm seeing all over social media.
Yeah, the ones who just want to like live their life.
Yeah.
They want to be. They think that the other T's are giving them bad
shit crazy. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, they're not crazy. They're right in that respect. The National Crisis Lifeline for this community reminds trans individuals that it's okay to celebrate acts of visibility. And those acts of visibility include the feeling that comes with taking your very first hormone dose, being called by your chosen name by someone who loves you, finding language to describe your own identity, feeling euphoric in a piece of gender-affirming clothing, looking in the mirror and loving who you see back at you. One thing remains abundantly clear. Trans people are here. They've always been here, and they're not going anywhere, and you are never alone. Yeah. Do you have a picture for me?
Yes. Do you know Blair White?
No. Someone, yeah. Okay. Cliff there says Blair White, ?
Yes, that is who I'm talking about, but hang on. Let me pull up a...
Is this a video or is this going to be?
No. It's just this is just a photo. I just want you to see what she looks like.
Okay.
Like she's.
Oh yeah, I've seen her before. She's a conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rogan. But I mean, she looks good.
Yeah. She looks like the, is it the Thai boys?
Yes.
The lady boys?
Totally. Yep. Yeah, that's a good,
who can pull that off?
Yeah.
Kind of uniquely.
Yeah.
Little Asian dudes.
Yep. And I believe she has a boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
Jim Norton?
I don't know.
So this Trans Day of Visibility, for when you're talking about visibility and representation, we have the LGBTQ History Month, which is October. I don't know if you know that. So that's different from Pride Month. So there's all of October. It was initiated in 1994 by Rodney Wilson. There's National Coming Out Day, which is October 11th. There's Trans Day of Visibility, which is today. Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is November 20th. You're not putting this in your calendar.
I think they're already in there, to be honest.
Probably. There's the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, or Hobbit. That's May 17th. Then there's Pride Month, all of June. So now we've got all of October, all of June. Bisexuality Visibility Day or Bi Visibility Day. That's September 23rd. Fuck the bis, by the way. These are just whores. Can we just admit what the bis are? Selfish, greedy. They want to walk into a bar and anybody's on the table.
Yeah.
Pick a lane, folks.
Not a bad play, I guess.
I guess. It just seems greedy to me. It's like pick a lane and stay there. I never
just
understood
feel
the
like
bi
if
thing.
you're bi, aren't you just gay?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, especially if you're a dude.
Suck one dick. That's all it takes.
Yeah,
one
that's
dick.
what I'm saying. Like,
you're
girls,
one dick
I don't
suck
know,
away.
they might experiment in college, but like dudes, suck, 100%, just gay.
What? Just one, like, just the head. Just the head. That's it.
I mean,
you're done.
you just grab it.
Yeah. If I think you got to put it in something. Just grab it because
grab it with your hand.
It's a gray area if you smack one away. Because a buddy of
I'm
mine,
not Mike. I'm not
a buddy
talking
of mine
about
could easily lay one on my shoulder, and I go, "What is that? What? God damn it!"
No, Mike, you're not going. Oh, what is that? And then just like.
So
there's a big difference between flicking the head and grabbing it and stroking it.
All right, you got me. Jesus Christ, get out of here. Okay. So you're saying you're saying a manipulation of some sort. Yeah.
I think if it can in any way be interpreted as pleasure for the person receiving it, I think you're, no one's going to like getting flicked in the tip if you're like, that's not.
Yeah. I think if you get to the point of even once, just what's all the hubbub about? What's all the hubbub about?
Even just moving your head down there.
Just getting in position. Okay, I can do this. It's over for you.
It's like in We're the Millers when he's like, "Can't believe you were gonna suck that dude's cock."
Yeah. That's such a great dude. Another very underrated movie, by the way.
That movie's so funny.
We're the Millers is one of my favorites. It's fantastic.
Yes.
So the bis, I didn't. Okay, I can't have the comments up. I will respond to everybody.
I think it's
okay. This. I tucked it back there. So I didn't know it was hanging down. It was driving me nuts. I unplugged it and the light stayed on. I was like, oh, I guess I don't need this. And I set it over there the other day. No harm, no foul. And then my remote wouldn't work.
Oh.
So I was like, fuck. I guess I do have to have it plugged in.
Yeah.
So I plugged it in and tucked it. So I'm glad you noticed.
Yes.
Asexual awareness. Okay, fuck off. So the people that are like, I'm not interested in sex at all. Isn't that asexual?
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Aren't those incels?
Yeah. Fucking day. Should we give them a month too?
Yeah.
Asexual aware. Okay, we're aware.
Yeah.
We're aware. Yeah, it used to just be people that couldn't get any.
Right.
People that can't get any day, hanging out in their basements, incels. That is, they get a full week. The last full week of October is for the asexual awareness, folks.
Wow.
Intersex awareness is October 26th specifically. Who the fuck is intersex people? Oh, those are like hermaphrodites. The only trans like people. I mean, not only true ones. Obviously, there's some mental disconnect there going on that makes you.
Yeah, but those are the ones where people are like, oh, what about intersex? What about people that are born with both? You know, it's like 0.00001% of humanity.
May 24th is pansexual and pan-romantic awareness. Spirit Day is the third Thursday of October. Why? What's with October? Why are they all getting off in October?
Spirit Day?
Yeah.
Is that when you like dress up as your favorite LGBTQ character, like Spirit Week at school?
It sounds fair. I mean, it might as well be. Why
or
not?
Is that the feathers that have their own trans? Like, I think it's called Two Spirit.
Yeah, there is
Feather
Two Spirit.
Indians.
Yeah,
maybe
the feathers, not dots.
Yeah.
No, what its purpose is to support the whole list of the alphabet mafia.
So you're just like dressing. It's like Spirit Day.
Yeah, sort of. But no, you really want to promote youth against bullying. And you wear purple.
Just trans kids, or are we against bullying all kids?
No. You can bully straight kids all you want.
Okay.
No one gives a fuck.
I don't want to advocate for the wrong kind of
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I should have explained it. No. We only care about if you're bullying someone in the protected LGBTQIA+ community.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. At this point, I think the only true minority is just a straight person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's becoming a true minority.
Yeah.
As far as this goes.
And don't say every day, because that's not true.
Yeah. How far does it go?
A lot of holidays, Mike. That's a lot of holidays.
It's a lot of, and that's not shit. That's a fraction of how many flags and days and all that. Those are just
their
ones.
Flag is so colorful.
Yeah. That's why, like, if you're doing the whole, like, if you want to include the trans folk in there, they better.
When is Minor Attracted Persons Day?
I don't know. That's probably in one of those.
I bet it's in the works.
Here's all I ever think of. Outside of that dude who I love, this is the original gangster, and I love this lady.
Ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you, sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, let's go outside.
I need your corporate number. Because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in the store.
Hell yeah.
I need your corporate number.
It's misgendered and shit. Before I whip out my lady dick and whiz all over your counter.
Now.
I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your corporate number.
Look at those cute
I'm
jeans.
ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man. Because quite clearly I am not. Please. Ooh.
Clearly?
Dude.
that guy rules. Remember what a joke it was when Jay and I first watched that video? It was just like,
yes.
Like, no, for real. No, for real. That's protected. Like, for real. That is a grown-ass man bully. That was an old lady to the right that was like, sir, just calm down. I am a man. Like, and then that little kid behind the counter, probably his first fucking job, dealing with this psychopathic dude. That's a horror film.
Yeah.
That
is
like,
so crazy.
I mean, when they talk about murderous rage or something, like, if that guy would have just leapt the counter and beat that kid to a pulp, wouldn't have surprised me at all.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
that person is suffering from some mental illness.
Unbelievable.
Dare I say.
Yeah. I don't know where it ends, but it's, toddler kicked out of nursery for being transphobic. One of the stories.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a toddler's been kicked out of a nursery after being accused of transphobia. The child, age 3 or 4, was suspended for abuse against sexual orientation and gender identity, according to data from the Department of Education. I believe this is somewhere in Europe. The offenses took place during the academic year 22-23.
This makes more sense now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've lost it.
They're insane over there.
So fucking off the reservation in Europe. Like, I remember there was like a week where I was like, it'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind going to Europe. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, they're locking you up for tweeting out jokes.
Yeah. Like, no. Whatever they're doing over there, good luck.
Oh my
I
God.
wish
so what
you well.
did this transphobic 3-year-old toddler do?
I don't even know. They don't even explain like what it was. Like, this has got to be so
Let me
confusing.
guess. They like the two kids got into a fight over a toy truck and pushed the trans kid down, and it was like it was considered like a hate crime within the daycare.
Well, that could be. They don't even say exactly what it is. So this is according to the Telegraph, which is where I was reading this. Statistics indicate 94 pupils at similar schools were suspended or permanently excluded for transphobia or homophobia in the same year. This included 10 kids from years 1 and 3, where the maximum age was 7, and one child was of nursery age. So they say 3 or 4. Helen Joyce, director of advocacy at Sex Matters, said, every once in a while, the extremes of gender ideology throw up a story that seems too crazy to believe. And this is one such example. Teachers and school leaders involved should be ashamed of themselves for projecting adult concepts and beliefs onto such young children. Yeah, that's, I wish they went into detail about what you're accusing a 3 or 4-year-old of. But anybody that's been around 3 or 4-year-olds, I think that's probably all of us, knows that the innocence of a child at that age, is so on display.
So fucked up.
And it would be totally in the norm if some guy walked in a dress for a 3-year-old to go, why is he wearing mommy's dress? That's
100%.
just what
Kids
a kid
say
would do.
racist shit too.
Oh yeah.
Super racist shit.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Because they don't know.
No.
It's and you can be like, oh, well, you should tell them about it. And it's like, well, I don't know. When I'm living my day-to-day life, I'm not necessarily going to tell them about the people who like to play dress up. If it comes up and they ask, I guess I'll be forced to answer. But it's just, I hate the focus on kids. And I think that's really where the left lost a lot of voters, was when the focus on the kids. I mean, just JoJo Siwa recently, she was on Dance Moms, and now she's, a lesbian, and she's an influencer or whatever. But she was at GLAAD Awards or something over the weekend and had a jacket on that said "Protect Trans Kids," and it's like, what?
Yeah, insanity.
There aren't trans kids.
No.
There shouldn't be trans kids.
No, and I guarantee you, if you have a trans kid, it also has somewhere on the spectrum parent.
100%.
Influence.
And
that's just what you see time and again.
I know a kid who dressed up as Luigi or Mario for a year straight.
Yeah.
I mean, he just this little boy dressed as fucking Luigi for a year straight. And the parents were just like, I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't actually Luigi.
He wasn't? Are you sure?
He didn't throw fireballs from
Wow.
his hands when he ate, mushrooms and flowers and stuff.
Yeah. So this says, they go on to the Department of Education, says all pupils and staff should feel safe and protected. Yeah. Anybody in grade school should feel safe and protected. That's not a trans thing. That's not a gay thing. All of them should.
Yeah. And they should also be protected from unstable, mentally ill adults who are
pushing something on them.
Yeah, it's like we should protect against Munchausen's by proxy. We should protect against that. Because at some point, there's going to be a bunch of kids who are going to look to adults and go, how the fuck did you let this happen to me? Where were you? I mean, you didn't get a second opinion before you cut my dick off? What?
Yeah. I know one trans person who, just speaking to the rarity of it, I know one that, a really good friend of mine, it was his sister's kid, and was exhibiting signs of gender dysphoria at a really young, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And by the time was 12 or so, the parent, because this goes back years ago. It wasn't, oh my God, let's get it hormones and fuck it.
Right.
It wasn't that radical extreme bullshit yet. So it was just kind of, let's go to therapy, counseling. Let's see what's going on. Let's get some doctors involved, before there were specific clinics for this that diagnosed everybody that walked through the door.
Yeah. You had to affirm them. Otherwise.
Right. Would lock you up.
Which is crazy.
Before it turned into a racket and an industry, which is what you see nowadays, which is why it's so scary and why there's such a huge difference to me in people like Marina at 33 years old, wanting to, whatever. Marina can live Marina's best life. Yeah. Sweet individual. No problem with that. When you're talking about kids, wholly different subject.
Yeah. I think back to, I was a dancer in elementary school. Then I hit middle school. quit dance, started playing basketball, was this like super tomboy who was out rollerblading and like playing basketball in my, and hockey in my driveway. And then as soon as high school started, I went back to dancing and I got out of my tomboy phase. But imagine if my mom, as crazy liberal as she is, it would have been like, oh, clearly she wants to be a boy.
Dude,
and then my mom stopped my puberty and I was unable to have kids.
Yeah. Or orgasm.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what your mom, I don't know how off the deep end she is. Cause she's
she's a classical liberal, I would say.
Yeah. Cause there definitely are levels, but like today, if you were a 5-year-old now going through a tomboy phase, like today in this environment, there would probably be questions to your mom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Have you taken her to a gender affirming doctor? And that's the problem. You're not taking them to a doctor who's diagnosing them with having this disorder. Instead, you're going to someone and saying, this is what I want to have. Affirm me.
Yeah.
What other kind of doctors are out there like that?
None.
Besides pill mills, where you go in and you say, give me pills because I have pain.
Well, it was really fascinating to watch Candace Owens reporting. And I know you and I were both watching it. We'd text through it, just like, holy fuck, with the gay guy in France and his dude wife.
Yeah.
Like madness. And it's like, of course the mom was the therapist that was prescribing gender affirming bullshit in the 50s. Like whatever was going on in the 50s and 60s in certain parts of the world, 60s, like in San Francisco, when you're talking about the LSD stuff and that kind of crap, and whatever was going on in Europe with these fucking wild ass families, with money, prominence, power.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like the royal family is like incest. It's like a straight line down their family tree. They don't have any branches.
No, there's no fork in the road.
No.
In 2022, a Church of England school in the Isle of Wight warned a 6-year-old boy's parents that he might be deemed transphobic if he were to question another pupil wearing a dress. Yeah, that's what a 6-year-old's going to do.
Yeah.
100%. A 6-year-old's going to do that. You would deem a 6-year-old transphobic. Like, it was Sally and Nigel Roll said they received a letter from the head teacher which declared pupils could be designated the term if they showed an inability to believe a trans person is actually a real female or male. Sounds like a smart kid. It's like, you ain't fooling me with that. No.
Yeah. That is so crazy.
Dude, it just doesn't end. It's just mad.
Oh my God.
It's wild to be living it now. Like usually, like at some point, people will just have history books to read back on and be like, what the fuck? They're going to be talking about this time period. They are 100%. Yeah. There will be books and movies, PBSs of whatever the generation's version of documentary series are going to be done on this period of the derangement that was going on. And, we'll be looking back on it. Like, I'm trying to think what we'll compare it to. Like, what
honestly,
kind of wild shit.
What was it called when they used to like shock your brain?
Oh yeah.
Like shock treatment.
Yeah. Shock
or
therapy.
Like a lobotomy.
Yeah.
I equate it to lobotomies. Like at one point people were like, this is a good idea.
Or releasing the demons, drilling holes into people's heads.
Exorcisms.
Or when it's like, is it a witch? I don't know. If it floats, it's a witch. If it drowns, it wasn't. Like how do people get there? How do people
It's going to be this weird time where like we're going to be like, wait, but doctors weren't like sticking up for like it's so weird. How did we get there? How did we get to that point?
It's going to be viewed as transphobic. I'm more and more convinced that it's going to be like, like what did you do to all these young gay people that were struggling? Why would you like leap there?
That's the thing. That's why I just feel like there's something deeper about it. Like I feel like there's this is a conspiracy theory, but there's this effort to try and sterilize as many people as possible because we all know that they think that the world's overpopulated, that we're going to, ruin the planet because, we're having using too much air, whatever the fuck they say that the problem is, and
Yeah.
making the world warmer 1 degree every 45 years. And so
Yeah.
I think they ultimately want to decline the population. And that's why I just feel like there's some weird evil intent behind this. And that's why you see that party like grasping onto this for dear life, because they want to sterilize kids. And it's just bizarre to me. I truly feel like there's something more.
It seems like
because there are trans people. Don't get me wrong. I think I've talked about it.
Of course.
Like
yeah.
I have a cousin who's trans. She was a super weird kid, like super weird. And now when she was an adult, she transitioned to become a boy, and she's so normal now. And it was like, okay, this makes sense.
That's the example I'd give too with my friend whose kid. And it's like, it all kind of, but you're talking about super rare, like gender dysphoria that was 100%. In the medical community. And like, that's the example I have too. Like, there was one.
But it's like a medical disorder. Like gender dysphoria is a mental disorder.
Sure.
There are, you can transition to make it feel a little bit better, but it is a disorder that you're living with. And so to just pretend like there's these doctors out there who you're not going for a diagnosis, just for affirmation. And they're just like, okay, totally. Let's sterilize
it's agenda driven. You can tell when you see them interviewed, the doctors about it, that are the shit that comes out of their mouth. You're just like, what? Whose interest is this in? Like that you're constantly going. I think Caitlyn Jenner probably falls into that category. When you look at the life story of Bruce Jenner, and it probably manifested itself into the extreme athletics and whatnot. Like that's probably a classic case of the, supremely rare gender dysphoria. But like
he also knows he's not a chick.
Yeah.
Like he knows he's not a girl.
Right.
He knows he won sports as a man. He is a man. He has a penis. Like he's a dude.
He knows he can't be hanging out in the women's locker room at the clubhouse.
But he dresses up like a chick, and good for him. Whatever, if that makes him. And like you see the conservative party accept him, her, how whatever. Like welcome him with open arms. And so it's just, I don't know. People are it's just such a crazy time.
Yeah, we got to stop normalizing that sort of, shit we all look at sideways and just be like, dude, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't feel grassroots at all. It doesn't feel bottom up like normally. It doesn't feel natural.
When almost everyone from Hollywood has at least one trans kid, you're kind of like, but go to Indiana and you're probably not going to find many.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to other stuff, Elon Musk and Doge. I'm seeing a lot of pushback on this today. Doge has uncovered Social Security Administration files indicating that millions of migrants were recently added to the benefits program. Doge showed a graph to a crowd in Green Bay, Wisconsin, highlighting that over 2 million non-citizens received new Social Security numbers in fiscal year 2024. You want to hear them discuss this?
Yeah.
Let's see. Where was it? Here it is.
We started at the top of the system.
Kind of wild what's going on in Wisconsin.
We started at the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was. And there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste. And so that came up with a big list of stuff that we're working on. You've heard some of that already. But this is what jumped out at us. When we saw these numbers, we were like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, this literally blew us away. Like, we went there to find fraud, and we found this by accident. And this isn't political, by the way. My parents are immigrants. This country's been great to us. My brother and sister all born in Spain. I'm pro-legal immigration. This is not political. This is not political. This is about America.
Yeah.
And the future of America. And there are a lot of good people in the system that point to this.
They wanted to change the fabric of our country
right now.
Yeah.
Who work in the government today, who took risks to show us these numbers and tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to stop for a minute. I want to honor those people today. Very good.
Who is that little Roops that's talking?
Yeah, that little guy is
Who's that little guy?
He's a friend of Elon's. He's another billionaire.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Antonio Gracias. Tony. It goes on and on. Federal laws outlaw non-citizens from receiving Social Security or Medicare. They also forbid non-citizens from voting in elections. Meanwhile, the Social Security Administration notes that its non-citizens can receive benefits. Lawfully present non-citizens of the United States who meet all eligibility requirements can qualify for Social Security. This is what people are going to push to and act like this is totally normal. You know, non-citizens can get Social Security numbers. Yeah, they don't go from 200,000 to 2 million.
Right.
Right. Okay. Do you see? And so how do non-citizens qualify for Social Security, you might ask? Well, non-citizens must generally be lawfully present in the U.S. and have a work authorized status to earn Social Security credits. This includes.
Gotta love that word generally.
Yeah, right.
Which means anybody can qualify.
So yeah, which is how it's being used now. But traditionally speaking, when it's like what you're going to hear, the argument on the left is nothing to see here. This is more bullshit. This is a lie. This is the right just trying to fuck with immigrants or something along those lines. And they'll talk about green card holders can add to Social Security and get a Social Security number. Temporary workers on an H-1B visa, refugees and asylees. These individuals are typically allowed to work and can accrue credits for benefits. Paying Social Security taxes to qualify for benefits, non-citizens must have paid into Social Security through payroll. They need to earn at least 40 credits, roughly 10 years of work. For retirement benefits, though fewer credits may suffice for disability or survivors benefits. So we have special deals with certain countries where if you come over here on a visa, some of your credits for work in their country might be added to credits that you earn later working here temporarily. And then it's like, well, they've only got 20 credits in the US, but they've got 20. And there's a handful of countries that this goes to: Canada, Germany, Japan. So there's certain rules. It does not mean that all of a sudden 2 million of them are rammed through the fucking system and they're all just automatically getting max benefits.
Yeah.
Max benefits.
I see you didn't mention Venezuela, Mexico, all those countries. Those aren't on that list of
Well, we have agreements with over 30. Canada, Germany, Japan are a few, to coordinate Social Security benefits for workers who split their careers between the U.S. and another country.
Yeah.
So
I don't think the Tren de l'Agua or whatever. I don't think that qualifies.
I don't think they qualify. Let's see if there's more to that speech. I didn't watch the whole thing.
We started at the top.
Let's see if there's more.
You want to talk about
risk along the way. I want to thank them, and they give you an NTA, notice to appear, which to appear to
let's see if
judge.
he explains more.
The wait times on judges are like average 6 years. Look at Grok, you'll see it on immigration judges. There's only 700 of them. This is 5.5 million people. Okay, so what happens then? Once you're in the country and you got asylum through one of these pathways, and we've mapped the whole thing out, you can apply for a work document. You file a 765, it's the work form. You get this form called the 766, that's the authorization, and then Social Security Administration automatically sends you in the mail your Social Security number. No interview, no ID.
This is worth just reiterating. It's not people sometimes think that under the Biden administration that he was simply asleep at the switch. He wasn't asleep. They weren't asleep at the switch. It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States and disenfranchise the American people and make it a permanent, deep blue, one-party state from which there would be no escape.
Look, if I hadn't seen this myself, I'm not sure I'd have believed it. I went through it myself and mapped it, and Elon is right. This is true. The defaults in the system from Social Security to all of the benefit programs have been set to max inclusion, max pay for these people, and minimum collection. That's what's happening. We found 1.3 million of them already on Medicaid, as an example. We've gone through on every benefit program we went through. We found groups from this particular group of people, this 5.5 million people, in those benefit programs. And then what was really, really disturbing us was why. We're asking ourselves why. And so we actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records. And we found people here registered to vote in this population, yes.
And who did vote?
And we found some by sampling that actually did vote. And we have referred them to prosecution at the Homeland Security Investigation Service.
Yeah.
Already. That has already happened.
Good.
Yeah, you get the point. Insane. So if you were wondering what was going on, like, does any part of you go, I can't buy that. I don't know about that. That's what it felt like.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew that that's what was going on. I knew that that's what was going on. And people on X were calling us conspiracy theorists. Some were calling it the Great Replacement Theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't so much a theory. It was very accurate.
So the people that I saw too are making comments like, so we're just believing every unvetted claim these guys make. Like this thing where I need exactly like, no, obviously let's start with these guys are lying about all this. They're finding all this fraud and bullshit behind the curtain. Doesn't mean it's all right 100% of the time, but it's starting to paint a really clear picture about what was going on. What we couldn't wrap our heads around is like, why? Why would you have 50,000 people in a caravan crashing your border and no one's stopping them? Like
they're not sending their best.
Yeah. It's just mind blowing. Elon went on, and this is going to be a problem. He also later in that same speech there in Wisconsin said he's directed his team at Doge to investigate Congress members who have amassed vast fortunes. So he's long been vocal about his suspicions about how these people are getting their money. A lot of strangely wealthy members of Congress where I just can't. I'm trying to connect the dots of how they became this rich. How did they get $20 million if they're earning $200,000 a year? Nobody can explain it. We're going to try and figure it out and certainly stop it from happening. It reminds me of this. When he was on Joe Rogan wrapping up his show, Musk went out with this, and this didn't get as much play, but I think he's not wrong. He's very careful here. The last 3 minutes of that episode about what he's saying and what he's even willing to do. And I'll play it for you.
Listen,
I get it.
Well, attack the corruption enough to keep civilization trucking along, you know.
Yeah.
But I think if I fully destroy the corruption and the graft, they will kill me.
That's a fucked up thing to live with.
Yes. So I'm like, damn it.
Well, listen, I really hope they don't kill you.
Yeah, thanks.
And that goes on, but him even leaning back going, damn it. Like he fucking knows.
Yeah.
He knows this whole thing is rigged and you cannot, like, if I told you what I know to be true, they'll kill me.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's that far off base. I got to be honest with you. I think they would. At some point, he even goes as far as saying something along the lines of, you know, these people cannot afford to put their kids into these private schools that they're putting them in unless they have this money coming in on the back end. However, this is happening. Like when you start messing with people's kids and stuff like that, like they'll kill you. Yeah. Like if I really went in and showed you the real corruption, all of it, they'll kill me.
Yeah.
And
unless, of course, they're messing with your kids and trying to sterilize them. That is fine.
Right.
Hopefully Elon has it written down somewhere and there's a kill switch in case something happens to him. I hope he releases it all.
Yeah. This is the one chance, folks. This is the one chance to try to get this right. This is it. You're living it right now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I've dreamed about shit like this. Like I just assumed it's too far gone. It's too far gone. There's no way to get into the process to even look under the hood and see how bad this is. That like you either pay to play, get in the game, you have to like sell your soul on a certain level just to get up to the level needed. Like there's no way you come in like AOC, we're going to fucking stop the crime, the criminals that are like, she comes in saying all that shit and now she's fully on board. That's it's not her fault. That's just the way this system is set up.
And there's a reason they didn't want him to have a second term. And that's because he's going to get shit done in his second term. First term, people were blocking him and he was trying to figure it out. Now he knows how shit works and where the bodies are buried, and he can do a lot more damage than he did to the swamp his first term. Yeah.
It's insane. I my fingers are crossed that they don't let us down. You know what I mean? Like that's my whole thing. Like I'm not there. I can't say they're going to get everything right.
I mean, they've already done more than any other administration. So
yeah. And think of it this way too. Like someone else is going to come in next time and just reinstall this stuff. And it's like, it's a lot easier to destroy, I heard someone say it like building the Jenga tower is a lot harder than knocking it over. Like rebuilding it is not quite as easy as turning it off.
Right.
So, hopefully they do. Did you see his girl, Ashley St. Clair? I don't know which whore that one is.
Yeah. She's that conservative influencer.
Is that who that is?
Knocked up.
Is she any good? Have you followed her at all?
Not really. She seems kind of annoying.
Yeah. But she's got a nice ass. I saw that in one of the videos. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's fine, I guess.
I mean, like, have these chicks not figured out yet? Like, he's got a type. He's got to he's dumping loads in them. And
that's just it. Yeah. So but she's the type where she's the type of conservative who like, she really has to simp for the traditional conservative and be like, oh, you should be married and have kids and have a family and this and that, and well, yeah, I think in general, that's probably like the best way to be. I fully recognize that you can also have a very happy life raising kids on your own, like my mom did it. So, there's a range of conservatives, and I say she was kind of pretending to be one. And then, meanwhile, she's fucking Elon on the side and having his love child and pretending to be a scorned lover now. And Elon's like, fuck, I dipped my stick in crazy.
I'm finding it very hard to have any sympathy for chicks like this. She's selling her Tesla. That was a big thing. She was out there speaking to the cameras. She's selling her $100,000 Tesla because Elon, I don't know, whatever, he's a bad guy or he's mean to her. He cut her benefits or whatever. She's
I saw her say something like, you're not paying me, you're paying our kid or whatever. And it's like, you know what? Then will you be happy with the traditional sum of like a couple grand a month? Or do you need the lifestyle? Because your kid doesn't need the lifestyle. Your kid doesn't need a Tesla, FYI.
Yeah. And apparently he just gave her that. That was just a gift. Laura, so it said, she stated that the sale is necessary to compensate for a significant cut in financial support she receives for their child. The exact details of the support dispute and the financial arrangements remain undisclosed. Laura Loomer posted, gold digger and professional gaslighter Ashley St. Clair was caught on camera outside her ritzy Manhattan condo, paid for by her sugar daddy, Elon Musk, selling her $100,000 Tesla she said was gifted to her by Elon Musk.
So she's selling it for profit? She got it for free and she's selling it for oh my God, that's funny.
She said she's selling it to make up for the $100,000 in alleged cuts to her child support payments from Elon.
Wait. What? Say that number again?
So she's selling it to make up for the $100,000 in alleged cuts to her child support payments from Elon. She took a jab at Elon, telling people to check the Tesla stock. I'm not the only one cleaning up after Elon's messes. Ashley has hired anti-Trump lawyers to sue Elon Musk. He was ordered by the court to take a paternity test. Elon said, I don't know if the child's mine or not, but I'm not against finding out. No court order needed.
Oh my God, it'd be so funny if he wasn't.
Can you imagine? Despite not knowing for sure, I have given Ashley $2.5 million and I'm sending her $500,000 a year.
What?
Yeah.
And she has to sell her Tesla? Wait a second. This
Tesla.
baby is not old. BTW.
No, wasn't it just shit out? Like
it's like a few months old.
Yeah, it's
so
like
I'm
a newbie.
Confused why cut by $100,000 cut. Like why have you even already incurred $100,000 in expenses with a few month old child?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like all the kid does is shit,
Yeah.
eat, and sleep. What the fuck are you spending $100,000 on?
Who knows?
He already gave her $2.5 million.
Dude, this is the thing with these chicks. There's got to be a million of them, literally a million of them that are sliding into his DMs, showing hot. Like they know this guy will dump a load in a hot chick, and
totally. He wants to populate the world.
He's not pulling out, and it's like you don't have to do shit. If you can get knocked up by Elon,
$2.5 million to him and $500,000 a year for 18 years is like 1 day of work for us.
Not
like
even.
It's like nothing.
It's not even. You're talking like it's not, honestly. That's like if someone said to me, Mike, any chick you pass on the street, feel free to bust a nut in. Just give her $1, and then you can go on about your day. Like, okay, cool. That's the deal. I could just dump a load in anybody I want, give him $1, and then walk away. No question.
That's the equivalent.
That's sort of what this is like. And it's like, he's not going to be really a part of like your world, their world. Like,
right.
Like in the history books, it'll be reported a certain way. Like we're living it. We're seeing it in real time. But these chicks like, no, I'm sorry. You all look the same. I know you're young, you're hot. And you reached out to Elon, slipped into his DMs, and he's like,
into the DMs.
Right, I'll fuck him. Sure.
100%.
Wasn't she the one that
saw each other at some,
wasn't she the one
event,
like bragging to friends in texts that were revealed? Like, I got to have Rocket Baby or something like that.
Totally. Like, oh my God, he retweeted me. I need his Rocket Baby or whatever. And
yeah. I'm just like, whatever, sweetheart. You know who doesn't have that problem?
So
Ugly chicks. Ugly chicks don't have this problem. It's all of you. So, hilarious.
Chicks are so can be so crazy and embarrassing.
Yeah. Did you see the other big news today about Trump seeking a third term?
What did he say this time? I mean, people realize he's like in his 70s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's up there. He, dude, here's how this goes. Cause I get, stories from people like, now what do you think?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's sad that people are falling for this.
Yeah. Like he's fucking with you all.
He's not even, it's not even doing that. Like where was, I'll play the story. So it was over the weekend. And I'm reading this article, and I don't remember who it's from. Maybe NBC, ABC. They're all picking up and running with the story. This is like the thing to talk about to scare everybody that this monster is now. We told you he's never leaving the White House. That kind of attitude. Trump has often mused, even joked about seeking a third term, but over the weekend he made his strongest and most serious comments yet on a move that constitutional scholars ABC News spoke with called virtually impossible. I'm not joking, he told Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker in a phone interview on Sunday before adding, it's far too early to think about it. There are methods which you could do it. And I'm like, wow, I got to hear this. I got to hear this phone interview that Kristen Welker did with Trump. So I go searching for it, and I can't find the damn interview. I just can't seem to find it. Oh, but what you can find is Kristen Welker going, I talked to Donald Trump, and he said this. So yeah, he's talking about a third term, and it's like, really, you did an interview that you didn't record for some reason, and now you're on TV telling us about. So what does that do? That leads to pool reporters asking Trump about it. Now the press picks it up. Do you see how this works? She drops a ridiculous statement. Press pool picks it up, and they just start asking him. Well, one thing you know about this guy is when you say the most transparent in the history of transparency, it is what it is. Ask him a question, he'll answer it. It's why Howard Stern loved having Trump on. Loved having him on. For 20 years, he would go on there. You could ask him anything. What are your favorite titties? Ooh. You know, I prefer a C cup to a D cup. Like, he doesn't care. He's been like that forever. And so these fuckers know this about him.
Right.
So, so the point of this is to put this out there. So you read the headline, Trump says he's not joking about possibly seeking a third term. The Constitution bars it, scholars say. And so now you've got your headline and you've got this premise. And then Trump may not want to rule out a third term, but the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution does, says David Schultz. Let's reach out to David Schultz, you know, constitutional expert, and get his expert opinion on this. And then let's call this one from Loyola Marymount and ask his expert constitutional opinion. Seeing how this is put together, you put these all together. So if you look at the press pool, for instance, and I believe we've got video of it here. Let's see. I know I've got it somewhere. Trump 13.
You said you were not joking about a third term, about possibly wanting a third term. Does that mean you're not planning to leave office on January 20th?
I'm not looking at that, but I'll tell you, I have had more people ask me to have a third term, which is, in a way, it's a fourth term, because the other election, the 2020 election was totally rigged. So it's sort of a fourth term in a certain way. I just don't want the credit for the second, because Biden was so bad. He did such a bad job. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm popular. I think I'm popular because we've done a great job. I think we've had the best almost 100 days of any president. And most people are saying that. And it's an honor. We're bringing back our country. We're respected as a country again. And we're strongly respected. And people are amazed. I was with some very important people today, and they said that they've never seen a turnaround of the country as fast as this. Even look at our border. We have nobody coming in. And you can come into our country, but you have to come in legally. But we have nobody coming in to our country.
So you get the point.
He's so
funny. Does that sound like someone that's dying to serve a third term?
No. He literally is saying, like, no, I'm not thinking about that. But I have had people say it to me, and you can imagine that. Like, if you meet Donald Trump, you can imagine being like, oh my God, you're doing such a great job. I wish you'd run again for a third term.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's going to do it. And also kind of a funny troll. Like, I like his response. I wish he was a little bit smoother with it. I wish he would have said something like, you know, that would actually be my fourth time winning an election, you know, and not my third time winning an election, because it bothers him so much that he won't admit he lost the 2020 election. Yeah. And I think he's just doing it to troll him at this point. But I
do too. What's that?
I think he believes it, which a lot of people do. I believe it too.
Yeah. There's no, I think I go to bed at night and I thank the Lord that they fucked with the election as much as they did in 2020.
Yeah. They really overshot it.
Yeah.
To the point where it was obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you don't have to believe that. I'm not going to force you to believe that, but there's enough there that you refuse to look at. Whatever. Yeah. It worked out for the best anyways. That's just the way it is. Sorry. You can call me anything you want. Election denier, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. There's enough bullshit that's just the reality. This is simply food for people that are just desperate to believe that there's truth to all the evil that they've been sucked into believing. That's what this is these stories. This story goes on and on. These people can then have quotes like Trump has already tested the bounds of the Constitution. governing presidential power several times. Several Democrats viewed his comments as another escalation against the rule of law. DNC Chair Ken Martin wrote, "This is what dictators do." They want to have all these powerful quotes. But I would say it's like asking 400 times for someone to denounce white supremacy. Mm-hmm. And after you ignore the 399th question, once you've denounced it, you're on record, you're on camera, you've denounced it. Who do you want me to denounce? Who? Say, you know, once you've done that a couple hundred times, and then, you know, they're still going to continue to ask every time.
And they don't give you credit for denouncing it.
Right. And when they do, will you denounce white supremacy? When you blow it off, that becomes the headline. President refuses to denounce white supremacy. That's what's going on here.
Right.
With the third term. Let's call up every constitutional expert we can. Let's call up every law professor we know and ask them about the 22nd Amendment and what it really says and what he really means. When in reality, this is just garbage. It's everywhere today. That story's everywhere. Trump seeks third term. He wouldn't rule it out. He says, I'm serious. Like, it's nonsense.
Bullshit.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Moving on to other things, the Judge James Boasberg, they blew him off today. Apparently deporting more Tren de Aragua and MS-13 gang members to El Salvador's prison.
Nice.
Last night, in a successful counterterrorism operation with our allies in El Salvador, the United States military transferred a group of 17 violent criminals from Tren de Aragua and MS-13, including murderers and rapists, Marco Rubio said. In order to keep the American people safe, we designated these gangs foreign terrorist organizations. These criminals will no longer terrorize our communities and citizens. Once again, we extend our gratitude to President Bukele and the government of El Salvador for their unparalleled partnership in making our country safe again against transnational crime and terrorism. Judge Boasberg likes to pound his gavel. Now he can pound sand. That's what Marco tweeted.
Yeah.
The president there in El Salvador said last night in a joint military operation with our allies from the U.S., we transferred 17 extremely dangerous criminals. All individuals are confirmed murderers and high-profile offenders, including 6 child rapists. This operation is another step in the fight against terrorism and organized crime. So, I don't know who's going to do that. See you. And yeah, if you want to, if you're wondering how that looked, here's the latest. Guys. I want his head down again.
Who's putting these out?
I don't know. Yeah, here we are, our new home. Hey guys. Welcome home.
I feel like it's part of our agreement with the other countries to be able to make like these impressive promotional videos.
Yeah.
Because I mean, those aren't like taken with a cell phone. I mean, those are like well produced, taken with drones flying over, you know, the event.
Yeah. Well, they were using Closing Time, the song Closing Time, where, you know, turn all of the lights on. Wherever you can go, but you can't stay here.
Yep.
And the band was bitching about that. I'm like, shut up, band. No one remembers you from the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Someone's playing your song again.
Exactly. You're welcome.
Yeah. You'll probably chart again for the first time since 1997. So just enjoy it. Yeah. But I was wondering why El Salvador would want to take these people, their willingness to house criminals, even from other countries, including deportees, even U.S. citizens. like if you fuck around bad enough, stems from a combination of strategic, economic, and political motivations under their president's administration. So yeah, they're getting paid.
I
So
was
it's
just
like,
about to say they must be getting paid
Yeah.
per prisoner. Yeah,
it's like,
that makes sense.
you house them, we'll give you a few bucks.
Yep.
You deal with them. We're not looking. Whatever you do, you do.
Yep. Cheaper than staying here.
Yep. Economically, El Salvador stands to gain financial support by charging a fee to house foreign inmates in its mega prison. This is like a stadium they set up. CCOT. The Terrorism Confinement Center. Bukele has framed this as an opportunity. The fee would be relatively low for the U.S., but significant for us, making our entire prison system sustainable. While El Salvador spent roughly $200 million annually on its penitentiary system amid an economy still recovering from decades of corruption and instability, this influx of funds could offset costs, bolster a key pillar of his governance, his aggressive anti-crime agenda. The deal with the U.S., for instance, includes $6 million to house around 300 alleged Venezuelan gang members for a renewable one-year term, suggesting a scalable model for revenue generation. So it goes on and on about what they're doing. And, he's trying to send the message. Plus, they think it gives them some sort of protection with the U.S. Like, hey, this is a partner of ours we're working with. Keep your fucking tariffs away.
100%.
Yeah. So it's like, we're playing ball.
Yeah.
We're playing ball. You pay for them. We'll make sure they don't go anywhere.
Yeah. I would much rather have Trump happy with me than pissed off at me.
Exactly. Some analysts suggest this deal enhances its domestic narrative of control and safety, even at a cost of human rights concerns, as groups like Amnesty International have documented torture and overcrowding in Salvadorian prisons. Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. Internationally, it could be a pragmatic play to align with U.S. priorities, blah, blah, blah. Whether this sustains long-term depends on legal challenges, especially regarding U.S. citizens, which experts deem unconstitutional. Well, maybe. You know what else is unconstitutional, in my opinion? I don't know if you agree, Amy, but allowing millions and millions and millions of unknown foreign nationals to crash your open border. So here we are.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
Like, again, trying to clean up the mess. Do you think this is what this guy wanted to do on his second term, was deal with this fucking bullshit from day one? Like, this is where we landed. It's also a
constitutional crisis when illegals are voting in our elections. So, spare me with your fake outrage of
But that's not happening.
Crises.
It's illegal.
Yeah, that's not happening. It's just like once in a blue moon. And if it does happen, they usually voted for Trump anyway.
Mm-hmm. None of that's happening, okay? We're going to send me email in a second. But Deer Lake Athletic Club in Clarkston has a full gym, fitness, 3 pools, swim lessons, tennis, pickleball. We spent time talking about pickleball earlier. And more. They offer summer memberships and kids' day camp too. The backcourt restaurant inside Deer Lake Athletic Club is open to the public with weekly dinner specials, kids' meals for $5 on Thursdays, live entertainment on Fridays and Saturdays, breakfast on Sundays as well. Make your reservation now for their Easter buffet in the Deer Lake Banquet Center. Visit the website, deerlakeathletic.com, for more info on the Deer Lake Athletic Club and Banquet Center. One of the guys, do you remember the guy that was filming himself all smart-assy about how to squat in homes? He was showing off his big wads of cash. He was a TikTok influencer. Remember him?
Yep.
He's fucking gone. Deported the shit out of him. Yeah, I'll show you he was rubbing in everyone's face for the longest time. I'll just show you real quick if I have him here.
No.
So, shit, that's not quite the video I thought it was, but that's the guy. He had a kid here, and they're like, "Oh, the kid's an American citizen." I'm like, "Yeah, no, not really."
Yeah.
When you and your wife crash the border.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think you get to. You gotta come here legally. Sorry.
Yeah. He made a name for himself just being the biggest cunt you could be. He would do all these videos, all this money he was given by the government.
And it's not like he's coming here to like work hard. You know, you'd have some sympathy for that person.
Yeah, no, he would brag about milking welfare benefits to encourage people to invade vacant homes. He had a whole checklist on how to do it, what the laws were in certain states, about how if someone's not home, if they're on vacation, you can break in, change the locks, da-da-da-da-da, and then it takes months to evict them, and you can live there free. Fuck you, America. That kind of shit. Once he arrived on Venezuelan soil, Moreno smugly flashed a thumbs up as he was guided off the aircraft, according to the New York Post. Venezuela's Minister of Interior said the TikToker was welcome back. He's been on the run from ICE for a while. They finally were able to track his ass down. So update there. He gone.
I can't believe that we still allow squatters to be a thing. Yeah. I just feel like if somebody was squatting in my house, I would break into every window. I would find them, and I would beat the fuck out of them and drag them out of my home.
Wouldn't you just put air horns in every one of those broken windows?
Yeah.
And just like I'd grab 10 of my buddies and we would literally lay on air horns in that fucking house.
Or
like there's
you just
no
all
way.
Bust into whatever room they're barricaded in with 10 of your buddies, and you all grab a limb and you lift them up and you throw them out the fucking door.
Yeah. I know, but the people that did do stuff like that, some of them got murdered, and some of them got arrested. There were a couple cases in I think California.
Fine, I'll take an assault charge for throwing some squatter out of my house, so long as you charge him with trespassing.
Yeah,
like what are we doing?
There's a whole thing they do where they go. And then they establish some sort of residency by calling the electric company and getting a bill sent to them in their name. Like, I'm the new tenant, da-da-da-da-da. I just moved in, and I need to get the bills transferred.
What's crazy is it usually takes time. Like squatters' rights in Michigan, it's not like you can just do it overnight, I feel like. It has to be like a prolonged period of time.
Well, if you remember, and I think that's true. I think we talked about that at one point about Michigan being more difficult. I think it was Atlanta. It might have been Atlanta, Georgia, where they, the people in charge had stripped away all the protections.
Right.
And so it made it super easy and to get in and establish fake residency, and then really hard to get them out. Mm-hmm. And they had court cases piling up, and it was going to take months and months and months to square it away. It's a whole thing.
Stand your ground bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my house. Get out of my house.
Fuck. Can you imagine coming home and there's some douchebag trashing your place?
Right.
And believe me, they were all trashed. The houses are all.
I mean, nobody classy is squatting.
No. They're mentally disturbed.
Maybe I'll go try to squat in Kelly's house.
There you go.
Like get a bill sent. You know what? This might be a good idea. Just get like a bill nonchalantly.
Is she on water?
House? No, she's got a pool though.
Yeah, pools are fun.
I mean,
she's not on water. Pool. Yeah.
But
I was going to say, if I could squat with you, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. We could set up a studio there and everything.
I know. I already think I could live in her house for a week without her noticing that I was there. But if I got like a bill sent there and she didn't know, and then I just went in and changed the locks and I was a squatter, I mean, what's she going to do?
Yeah. She's not going to
It's my house now, bitch.
Yeah. Deal with it. See you in court.
You can live here still, but it's mine.
Yeah. I won't give you a key, but.
And I'm going to come here whenever I want and use the facilities.
See, the funny thing is you could probably do that anyways. Just come over and use the facilities. Yeah, for sure.
Use the pool, or we had our team pool party there. And I remember some of the moms for my team were like, or some of my team members were like, how many kids live here? And I was like, one. One little 8-year-old kid lives here, but she's got everything. Yeah.
Yep. No, it's having a pool is like being the guy with a pickup truck.
Yes, totally.
Where it's like, oh shit, man, I got this dresser. Can you that's just, you get those phone calls when you have a pool. Yeah. I had it where it's like, my kid's party's coming up.
For sure. Yeah, and they've got a great house to host. So
yeah. My house hosted a few of those. It's fine as long as people are relatively respectful of your shit.
Natalie thinks her house sucks because they don't have a hot tub.
Wait, Natalie thinks
she's like thinks like that. Like when she was like, "Can we get a hot tub?" They're like, "No, like you don't need a hot tub." She's like, "Oh man, like our house is nothing if we don't get a hot tub." But she's got every fucking amenity under the sun.
Yeah,
and she's like, "But we don't have a hot tub."
Yeah, well, poor thing.
I know.
Poor thing. I know, dude. I'm dealing with it, Marshall. You're like, you have no fucking idea, you idiot.
Yeah, right.
Just stop.
Right.
Hey, want to welcome Bruno Bonanni, new member.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Bruno.
I hope he didn't sign up for horse poop pics because I don't think members get that over here.
I kind of like the name Bruno. I feel like you got to be a badass if your name Bruno.
You don't talk about Bruno. No. That's a song from a Disney movie.
Can you be a soft Bruno? Bruno Mars, I guess, is kind of
Bruno. Yeah. I bet Bruno is like a more popular name these days because it was in a movie.
Was it? Or do you think it's Bruno Mars?
No.
See, I don't even know what that reference is.
It's what the fuck Disney movie is that from? Is the Disney movie called Bruno? Hang on.
I don't know. You know a lot about Disney movies.
I know. I do.
Are you a fan still?
Oh, it's from Encanto. Encanto.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that in the.
Well, no, but I liked Disney movies growing up. Then I had nieces. Now I have Natalie.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's
that
part
just
of my
so
world.
wasn't on my radar, even growing up.
World. Yeah.
Was it the Rescue Rangers or
Power Rangers?
No. The old one about the
Rescue Rangers
the
were a thing. Oh yeah, yeah.
The Mises down in
those little Mies.
Yeah, those little Mies. That was a Disney thing, right?
I think was that
I was
Disney
a big
or
fan
was
of
it
that.
like was that Nickelodeon?
No. Nickelodeon was after me when I was a kid.
Oh, Chippendale were part of Rescue Rangers.
No, is it the Rescuers? It might have been the Rescuers.
Well, Rescue Rangers is a Disney thing.
Yeah, that's not what it is. I'm thinking of the Rescuers, I think. The old. It's probably before my time, but I loved it as a kid.
Sounds like
about
a terrible
couple of
movie.
nieces and some old bat who used to scare me, I think. But that's a cool one. That's a good one.
Is it though?
Yeah. Do you have a picture of it? Are you looking at it? The Rescuers?
Oh, no. I kind of got sidetracked.
Yeah,
the Rescuers.
I think that's what it's called. I want to say that's what it's called.
The Rescuers.
Is that a cartoon?
1977. Oh
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Mike. This is it. What
Is
is
this
it?
it?
It looks like a freaking like Peter Pan offshoot or something.
Really?
Oh no, but
I hope the Rescuers is good. I'm going to get shit for it now.
I bet it sucks.
I think I had a
there's
vinyl.
I bet there's no good songs in it.
Yeah. The dude's on the
picturing?
flying fucking bird. I remember that. Yeah. See that witch down there in the bottom right?
This kind of looks like the Rachel from earlier.
Yeah, a little bit.
The trans dude.
Yeah. That's, dude, it's pictures like that I think of whenever I see these people and they're like, I just want to use the bathroom like a normal woman. And I'm like,
Did you see
yeah, but
the
you look like the
sequel?
fucking bad guy from the Rescuers.
Did you see the Rescuers Down Under? Down Under?
No. Yeah, she's looking for a diamond. Yeah.
Impactful
Totally.
on you. Leave it to you, Mike, to watch the one fucking Disney movie that nobody else watched.
Dude, I guarantee this was big in the 80s. Watch it and tell me if it's good.
No.
I bet
I'm
it
not
holds
doing
up.
that.
I bet it was back before like only trannies ran Disney. Like I bet it's sweet. I bet it's really good. Well, welcome, Bruno. All right, let's do an email.
My sister just texted me and said her dog's name is Cooper. Poor Cooper wants to know why you said you don't like small dogs on TDC.
Oh yeah. Well, we like Coop, sir. Coop's a good guy.
She said that Cooper like gets all excited and runs around when he hears my voice on the podcast when Kelly's listening to it. Because he loves
Hi, Kelly.
animating me.
Hi, Kelly. If I come over, I won't change your locks.
Yeah, I will.
You will.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Mike might let you in.
Yeah, I'll let you in for a visit.
Yeah.
For a visit. For a long weekend. Yeah. And then you got to get out of mine and Amy's
Off
studio
you
house.
go.
We'll be broadcasting from the pool.
It's
sweet.
like we make it a content creator house.
Yeah, we'll find the new Paul brothers and yeah, dude, we'll have a trampoline in that backyard in no time.
There's already one back there.
Of course
Come on,
there is.
You know that.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's do an email. Connor wrote, E-Rock, Mike, the show with Eric, E-Rock was awesome. That inside / behind the scenes stuff will never not interest me. The way he described the Dabbleverse was perfect. Can't wait for part 2. With love.
Yeah, that's a long show you did there, Mike.
Dude, 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, and I never looked at my notes.
Live here and there, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, he was really good. I didn't know what to expect. I sort of knew what to expect, but you never know. Like he used to take such a beating on O&A that it's like I don't know if they like driving conversation, like if that's his strong suit, you know? So I was pleasantly surprised when I was like, no, he's great.
Yeah.
So he was really good. And for me, I nerded out on all that shit. So
yeah,
I don't know if anyone else cared, but I did.
Sounds like Connor did.
Yeah, that's good. I'm a sucker for all that behind the scenes. Dude, I spend half my day on YouTube watching behind the scenes of shit, bands I love. Like I eat that stuff up. I cannot get enough of it. So yeah. All right, Ames. Connor's not going to be happy about this. Isis, our own Isis being on tomorrow.
Yes.
He's going to bum out. But, it's funny how many people write me like, I miss Isis. We should
totally.
But Isis works like he's a different breed. He's a different kind of thing. The key with Isis on TDC was always Jay.
Yeah.
That was the dynamic that people pick up on where Jay wasn't having it and would just go off the handle because Jay was, super moral conservative guy and everything Isis did set Jay off. So that dynamic is not easy to just replicate and get the best of Isis on. So,
I mean, it was so great. Like when Jay would just be like, how the fuck did I get here? Like sitting here with this dude who will drink his own piss.
Yeah.
Like for free. Yeah. Fuck.
But that's the chemistry that people are talking about. It's that specific. Me, Eggedon,
he's a lovable guy.
And I ended up liking Isis more and more every year. It's like this. He's a good dude. So, so we'll have fun with him tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. And I will be coming to you, Gross, from Chicago.
What's going on in Chicago?
I will be in Chicago. Well, I'm actually not staying downtown. I'm staying in the suburbs. I've got 6 meetings over 2 days when I'm out there. So
good God.
I know.
Ugh. Well, yeah.
Good
sounds
time.
like fun. All right. Well, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll see you live from Chicago tomorrow. Thanks, Ames, for being here. And everybody, have a great rest of the night. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.